Hey everyone, the Varietal Show is back. I don't know if we're where we're at, but I know where I'm at. And I'm here with Richard Sanford. We've been talking a little bit about this amazing piece of property where we're at. We talked about the big scene here, about where we're at in Sta Rita Hills, which is part of Santa Barbara County. But one little thing about this building right behind us, we said, it's 1910, but behind that is the original Sanford little tasting room. And if you guys saw the movie Sideways, you probably saw this one scene where this handsome guy with this kind of big cowboy hat and long hair, Chris, who I've known, I remember one of my first instinct was just to think, when I think about Santa Rita Hills, I think about Chris pouring me wine. That's
Yeah.
that's about it. And I don't think about Sideways. I think about Chris pouring me wine, and he's actually in the movie. And so here we are, and that's just across the little bridge right here behind this house. Um, so this piece of property was something that you got to purchase and really develop. So let's talk about you and I. We drove around it today. It's stunning, you guys. I mean, and we're talking about a hillside. We were up at the top, and we just really stopped and we were just quiet. You know why? Because it's complete nature. It's exactly what Richard wanted when he came here. And he says he goes up there and you just sit there. I mean, and I wanted to just stay there for about an hour, just sucking it all in because it's a beautiful piece of land. It's hillside farming, starting down there, coming from the flat spot, going up to major hillside farming. Really, what made you pick this spot?
Well, it's a remarkable physical
Yeah.
location. It's beautiful.
Hmm.
It has all different aspects of growing angles
Yep.
of east facing, north facing, and some south facing slopes. It's more clay like than
Yep.
some of my earlier
Yep.
properties that I developed. And I found that clay seems to provide more intensity for the Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
And Chris, we're on the eastern corner of the original Santa Rosa, Rancho Santa
Yeah.
Rosa. This was, from the 1839 Mexican land grant period when the Mexican government was interested in getting the land into the hands
Yeah.
of Mexican
Because the Yankees were
owners.
coming, you guys. The
Yankees
Yankees were
were
coming.
coming, and so they wanted the ownership to be in Mexican hands,
Yeah.
and that really created the Rancho period in 1840s.
Yeah.
And then through a series of droughts and purchases, different people came and purchased the land, and this ended up in the ownership of the um, uh, Yankees,
Yeah.
and then that was divided in 1913 into separate parcels.
Yeah.
And so this was a 600-acre parcel of that
Yeah.
original grant.
Yeah. So you developed it and you planted. There's some other things when you started developing this. There were more clones out there, weren't there, of Pinot Noir? There were things that you could really use and you could customize this. And we were up at one of the top, the higher vineyards, and it's actually a complete circle. Tell everyone a little bit about that little parcel up there. It's so
Well,
amazing.
Eastern philosophy has been important to me,
Yeah.
and the spiral has been important. And this is a knoll that I
Yeah.
was planning, and hard to plant a vineyard on a knoll because
Yeah.
the rows go across the surface of the ground and create terraces. I didn't want terraces because tractors want to go up and down
Yeah.
a hill,
Yeah.
and typically um, going up and down a hill isn't. Uh, uh, the whole idea is that on a knoll, the center of the knoll is the top.
Yeah.
So in order to have the tractors going up and
Yeah.
down, the rows had to go
Yeah.
up and down the
Yeah.
hill. So this is actually a compass rose.
Yeah.
Every 10 degrees, there's another row,
Yeah.
an 8 foot wide row that starts.
And I saw tractors coming up them. I
Yeah.
did.
Oh, it's really fun. And it required a special
Yeah.
consideration of choosing the clones.
Yeah.
And so when it was planted, we took 5 different clones of Pinot Noir, and we mixed them all up and randomly planted. It's hard to be random.
Yeah.
But the grafters just had different buds in their pockets, and they put different buds on. So this is a completely mixed up series of vines, about 2.5 acres, and we call it the caracol because a caracol is Spanish for snail.
Snail.
And that's the spiral. And so it's really exciting to have these wines in this mix because, you know, we've been so focused on individual clones and different vineyard blocks and getting them to total ripeness. But this, when we pick this, some are riper and some are less ripe. So we have these remarkable acids in the Pinot Noir that make the wine so beautifully bright. So
yeah, it's really
pretty exciting.
It's an amazing little spot. We're tasting a fun one right now. So tell everyone a little bit about this wine.
This is the El Jabali Pinot Noir, and El Jabali stands for wild boar. That was the name of the ranch originally. And so this is a recognition of the place, really, the Habilis. And these are some of the original clones from the Sanford and Benedict vineyard.
No.
This is the Mount Eden clone. And it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, this has a lot of structure to it, too. It's deep, dense. It does have almost like I do want wild boar with this. You know, I mean, it does have a good pairing with wild boar.
It would be delicious.
It would be delicious, you guys. But, you know, it has a sense of place, and that's what I love so much about Sta Rita Hills. I find that they are a little bit bigger in style. Just, you know, I feel like sometimes they're not bitter, which is something that I find from other areas where they might have some body and some structure, but they tend to be bitter. This has a natural sweetness, but it's also got that dry finish that's great. The berries seem like we went out and we picked individual cherries and we picked individual blackberries and we stuck them together and we made this amazing concoction that is just a delight to the senses.
There's a lusciousness about wine, isn't it? Yeah.
It's very rewarding, and there's a lot to really, you want to keep it in your mouth for a while, and that's the sign of a great wine, you know, versus just, you know, drinking it. You really actually want to explore it and just have it be a sensory experience. And I feel like you have done such a great job with this and designing these kinds of wines, but having the vineyards that are in your control, you know, and that's the most important thing, is really controlling your own destiny. I think that's kind of the thing.
Well, we can farm the vineyards to our liking, really.
Yeah.
And the Pinot Noir requires some special treatment, I think, Chris.
Yeah.
And has that beautiful sort of decadence.
Yeah.
It's like a day-old rose, you know.
Yeah.
It's just sort of decaying a little bit compost-like.
Yeah.
But balanced with this beautiful fruit.
Yeah, just a stunning wine.
It's a very unique wine.
Yeah. And Alma Rosa, also, Alma, the soul. You know, you're talking about the soul of this vineyard.
Well, my wife Tekla and I were trying to create a new brand after leaving Sanford Winery.
Yep.
We had Sanford and Benedict, and then Sanford, and then creating Alma Rosa Winery. What would we call it?
Yep.
And we're on the Rancho Santa Rosa. All of our vineyards are on Rancho Santa Rosa.
Yep.
Actually, we had someone in our staff that was named Alma.
Yeah.
And we thought, actually Tekla thought, the soul of Rosa, the Alma of the Rosa, would be our name. And so there, we decided that we would name it Alma Rosa.
I love it. It's such a great wine.
The wines are a reflection of the soul of the Rancho.
Yeah. The Rancho itself, I mean, I just thank you so much for driving me around the Rancho today, because it's
a pretty special place.
It's a special place, you guys. And Sta Rita Hills is a special place. This man was one of the adventurers that found this place. You know, he was you planted vines here when no one said it could be done, or no one even gave him credit for this area.
People said it couldn't be done.
Yeah, they said they couldn't be done versus could be done.
You can't do that here. and that even it became more important to show that
Yeah.
it was possible.
And you knew it could be.
Well, you know what? I think we always have had faith in
Yeah.
what we're doing
Yeah.
and perseverance.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. Let's finish with this. This movie Sideways comes along, and before that movie, Santa Barbara was developing. This area was developing. There was traction. But it wasn't the cachet that it has today. How was that kind of period over the past 20 years? And you've kind of followed this. And what's happened here? This is crazy, you guys. What's happened?
Well, it's quite amazing what Sideways did, not only for this region, but for Pinot Noir in general.
Yes, exactly.
I think that Sideways, although it was this, always remember when Alexander Payne wanted to create this movie. He reached out to Frank Ostini of the Hitching Post, and Frank called me and said, "Well, here's someone who wants to make a movie of alcoholism,
Richard,
and
I just got
we're,
back
we're,
from Phoenix.
we're doing a
Hang
film.
on. We're filming something right now, you guys. Thanks. More
We
fans
just-
of Richard are here.
This is Deborah Eagle.
Hi, Deborah.
You're on film.
Deborah, you're on film.
We have a wine in our glass.
And Teresa is the one who can give you new vintages.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect.
We will have
Thank
those.
you.
Thank you. That was our sideways moment, you guys,
Yeah.
and you just were with us.
Anyway, where were we?
About sideways,
Yeah.
and just
So-
what it did for Pinot Noir too.
You know what? For a while, I mean, Alexander was trying to reach out. He's a fabulous person.
Yes.
And an outstanding director. And he said, Frank said, "Do we really want to be in a movie about an alcoholic and depressed person?" And we thought, well, maybe not.
Yeah.
But Alexander insisted that we would not be shown in a
Yeah.
negative light.
Yeah.
And so we went ahead and did it, and we were very happy we did, because Rex Pickett, who wrote the
Yep.
book, was writing us in because of the quality of our wines.
Yep.
He was a wine aficionado.
Yes, he was.
And he knew
still
a lot,
is.
and still is.
Yep.
He knew a lot about wine. And so he came out, and we were his first stop
Yeah.
on the trip.
Yeah.
And so Chris Burrows, that you mentioned,
Yep. Absolutely.
I gave him the tasting, and we had droves of people coming after that
Yeah.
to take pictures with
Yeah.
Chris, because he was famous.
I already had pictures
He,
with Chris a long time ago. The guy was awesome. Still is awesome. And and believe me, that was not the scene where he drinks the spit bucket. Not at all. It's the beginning. It sets the tone for the movie. And I think that you and Sanford and Benedict vineyards set the tone for Santa Barbara County in many ways, as far as the success of Pinot Noir. Okay, you guys get that connection here? And I think that's absolutely true. So that seemed like it was the best place that they could have had featured at the beginning of the film is Sanford.
Well,
Yep.
thank you for saying
Yeah.
that. It's been exciting for me. I'm in my 50th vintage now, and it's just been remarkable to see, and particularly seeing all the young people coming along and making their mark. You
Yeah.
know, it's really an exciting place. And something about Sta Rita Hills is that there is energy here,
Yeah.
and there's creativeness here. People are doing interesting things, and new clones of new different varieties
Yep.
are being planted. People are experimenting, and it's
Exactly.
an exciting region.
Yep.
So it's open for visitation. People are welcoming
Yeah.
here. It's an exciting place.
It's an exciting time for Santa Rita Hills in Santa Barbara. I mean, we were just up at an amazing spot that was some new Syrah plantings on this property in Grenache and Viognier. And it's got the makings of magic right there. I mean, it's going to happen. These are going to be awesome wines. They're not even really coming out yet, but I mean, this is the this is the wonderful thing.
That's the beauty. It's the magic,
Yeah.
isn't it? You
It's
know?
the magic. Is that just the generation of great feeling here. You know, I drive here. I'm super. I got a big smile on my face. I come here. I have a smile on my face the whole time because Santa Barbara County is really special. Sta Rita Hills is a very special place in my heart, and Santa Ynez Valley in general. And I want to give a shout out to Shelby and all the great people here in this area that really promote this area. As a big thing, and the great hotels that are here too, and including one that is actually the Sideways Hotel, as I found out today. How can you gotta do it, right, you guys? But you know, it's just a fun experience. But being here with you, Richard, is a really special experience.
Thank you
for me.
so much, Chris.
It's always great hanging out with you, talking to one of the men who really made a huge impression on all of us as far as Pinot Noir is concerned. And to taste these great wines with him, the Alma Rosa label that you started in this property is so special. It's an experience down here. And Richard, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
And having our great guests on the Varietal Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you again
Come
soon.
and visit us.
Come and visit Richard and everyone down here. It's fun, and you can have it too. Ching. Cheers.